Wednesday, January the 11th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East along with you. Let's begin this morning during the 5 o'clock hour with a look from the Greensboro Tower camera. That's a look down towards Spring Garden down below. There's some of the buildings in downtown Greensboro in the background. Still have that snow and ice cover in much of the Triad region down into the north and northwest parts of the Charlotte region. But temperatures really warmed yesterday, and that melting process began to get underway. We'll take a peek here at Charlotte, the Dowd YMCA camera. This is pointed down into the direction of Moorhead Street there, where it goes over the light rail line, close to South Boulevard. And a lot of wet streets this morning. Could still be some icy spots, but notice the temperature in Charlotte above freezing by a wide margin at 44. And most spots are above the freezing threshold. Now, these were the highs yesterday. I had a really nice warm-up as we finally burst above freezing in widespread fashion for the first time since Friday. Let me show you, first of all, there's how we started the day in the Greensboro viewing area yesterday morning, but then all the way up into the low and mid-40s in many spots yesterday, even warmer in Charlotte, the Charlotte viewing area, anywhere from the mid-40s to the mid-50s, even in some spots east of Charlotte, south of Charlotte, yesterday afternoon. Still had that snow cover on the ground. There's the visible satellite and the white shading, the stuff that looks like clouds that isn't moving. That's the snow cover that's still in place, but beginning to get eroded a pretty good bit. And that melting process really kicked into gear and continues this morning with those temperatures largely above freezing. There are those temperatures this morning. Milder air feeding in from the west. It's 61 in Huntsville, 65 in Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, 63. And that warmer air, for the time being, is heading up in our direction. Now, a lot of clouds. And we continue to have these areas of rain feeding in from the west. Some rain showers near and north of Memphis over to Nashville, Tennessee this morning. Raining in the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama in spots. And Knoxville, Tennessee, seeing some rain this morning. And we continue to see some of that rain feeding over the mountains and down into our area. Now, where you occasionally see these little pink shades, that's where the radar software here is depicting temperatures that are kind of close to freezing, but in most spots we're a little bit above freezing, and so not any huge additional icing problems, but still with the residual areas of ice and snow on roads could be some slick areas this morning. A lot of clouds with this warm front nearby, shower chances with us, but temperatures not too bad today, looking like that. And then very little temperature movement tonight, maybe losing 5 degrees, maybe 10 degrees in a couple spots, but not a huge cool down. And staying above freezing tonight. The warming trend continues tomorrow. We'll call it a mostly cloudy type of sky for most of us, and there's your highs on Thursday. Friday, just ahead of our next cold front, even a little bit milder. Notice this big area of high pressure, though. There's Friday. That high wedges strongly down the eastern side of the mountains by Saturday, though, so it'll be a much cooler weather setup for Saturday. So let me show you what's happening in the upper levels here. This is the European 500 millibar chart. This is today. There's that big upper level low pounding California this week. But look at this. You would think Friday rather than into the weekend, big ridge of the southern and southeastern part of the country. You think that's a really, really warm setup in the Carolinas. But what's happening is you're having a lot of confluence here over the northeastern part of the country. That's forcing high pressure to build down the eastern side of the mountains, and so we have wedging at times as we go through the weekend and into parts of next week as well. Eventually that system out west ejects out. This is the European solution for Sunday night, and then finally out to Wednesday of next week this trough is coming out, and it could be several pieces of energy that kind of come out and pivot around the base of that trough. Wouldn't be shocked if parts of the southeast deal with severe weather at some point next week, depending on how instability unfolds. Now, here we are today. Frontal boundary nearby, clouds, some showers a possibility. And tomorrow that warm front lifts well to the north. Should be a pretty mild day. Speaking of temperatures, let's see. I think you can see this. Look at all the circled areas. Those are potential record highs over much of Texas, even southeastern New Mexico today. And then it's, see if I can reshape this a little bit here. Then tomorrow it's along the Gulf Coast where you have the potential for some record high temperatures. Moving forward from there, this is Friday. That cold front just to the north of us, but then that strong wedging episode then takes place as we get into Saturday and then Sunday. The wedge is kind of trying to erode a bit. But I think we're looking at a chilly, cloudy, occasionally showery type of day Saturday, especially Saturday morning. And then we might see another wedge build in here around Monday or so of next week ahead of that big system moving in from the west. And again, eventually it's Tuesday and Wednesday, probably Wednesday mainly, that system gets in. Showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder as well. All right, that is it for the latest edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.